What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. Today we're going over Labrynth. This deck has changed a little bit since I've last updated on the channel. I did take it to a locals on Wednesday, and I believe I went undefeated. We tied, I guess, one round. I tied against your Sartic. This deck is not playing any hand trap other than Imperm, so it was kind of hard to be able to combat those. They do have some really cool cards, and it's not that meta, so I didn't really think I had to play against it. But yeah, shout out to Nathan, taking me out at the regionals as well, not playing hand traps on branded, and then also doing it here, making me really prove that you need to play hand traps this format. Before we dive into for comps trial, I've shown a lot. We're on the road to 10K. If you guys want to see anything, let me know in the comment section down below, and I can definitely make sure to do it. We're going to be trying to upload some of the newer deck profiles, giving people a chance to pick up those cards like Ice Barriers and U-Bell and stuff like that. So stay tuned for the following week. But we are going to be starting off with the 1 Lovely and the 2 Lady. So this is pretty standard in the past. I know a lot of people have dropped down the Lady to 1 copy. The reason why they're doing that is because of the fact that you don't really want to see it. You want to maximize your chance of seeing those cards that all do something, especially in a trap deck when you're playing against the Sinful Spoils deck. You're playing against a really high powerful Tear Elements or Tempai. All your cards have to really do something, and opening up double Lady is definitely not going to help. But I think that this is really kind of necessary at 2 now with the U-Bell deck becoming more popular, because U-Bell is now becoming a main meta threat. Therefore, people are going to be siding the Bestials more and more than ever, especially with Melodious as well. Being able to hit those cards, they'll be able to side them in versus us. And if you get both your Lady and your Lovely gone, it is kind of hard to combat that. Therefore, we're playing 2 Lady because I think it's just going to be more standard. And I do quite like it, being able to summon it out from your hand, not having to search it with Ariana if needed. And then we are playing the triple Arias. I have bumped this up from the 2 it was prior to now 3. I did cut down the Ku-Klux. The reason why is because I found that most people are now interrupting or interacting with your cards, therefore allowing you to summon it back out and having an additional body. And where Ku-Klux, once you get it in rotation, you're not going to be seeing it. And a lot of players are like, okay, well, they expect me to be playing multiple Ku-Klux, therefore they don't try to hit it off the graveyard, which is quite nice. And then for the last of the monsters of the main little servants, we are playing the triple Ariana. We're not playing the pink because I don't find dark locking my opponent with the Fiends. That is quite nice with the barrier. Sinful Spoils can just summon out the copy of Dia Bellstar, still be able to play. It is quite good against Tempai as well as Melodious. But the problem is that if I'm going to be siding it in versus those decks, I'm going to be losing a bunch of other slots that are not the best slots. Therefore, we're not playing really anything gimmicky and just trying to play pure traps, which is quite nice. Now for the furnitures, I know some people have cut down. We're still in the triple Chandelier, triple Story Torby, and the 1 Ku-Klux. So like I mentioned earlier, we did bump this down to 1. Either before it was at 3 or 2 with the copy of Arias, but you can really change the ratios if you want to. These are probably the ratios for the Labrynth cards that are changing the most. As long as you have 4 of any one of these, you're doing quite fine, which is important to note. And then for the last monster, we are playing the 1 copy of Shavara. We are playing the Unchained version of this deck. Being able to set up the escape is quite nice. Being able to pop stuff, or the chamber, depending on which one you want to play. It kind of interrupts another form of interaction, which is really nice. And then for the 2 spells, we're on Labrynth, and the Call of the Grave. So Call of the Grave has been cut from a lot of people's lists. I think it's still good because Ash is so prominent in the meta. Being able to just hit this if you have it is quite nice. And then Labrynth, this card I kind of want to cut because I don't find it that good. But the reason why I'm playing is because having that additional pop against Tempai, being able to pop their field spell, or being able to pop even the Sinful Spell, so they set one of their spells in the back row, or popping their field spell can be quite nice as well. Having the additional pop can be quite important. And then with the grind game, you're able to set or summon out more monsters, which is really cool. I just think if the cards comes up a lot, people have to deal with it very quickly. Now for the traps, we're on the triple big welcome, double a little welcome, and then the double copy welcome. So the reason why we're playing this ratio, you don't need more double welcome Labyrinth, you don't need more rollbacks. A lot of the times there are some really weird combos where you actually do set this off of Lady, so you can pop it with the Shawarma. But you have to remember that this also resets itself, and you don't always need it if you have multiple access. So you can actually just set this if it already been popped. Chances are you've already used it the prior turn. Therefore, you can just pop with the Shavara to get the set. But if you open up with this in the graveyard, it's really cool that or open up this in the hand. It's really cool to get it in the graveyard. If you don't have a copy of your furnitures, you can just set it and pop it with a Shavara, then be able to go up into a Yama, or if you already have access to Yama at that point, you can go up into the copy of the Soul of Rage, which is quite nice. But yeah, you don't really need any more copies of these. These are quite fine, you know, and rollback doesn't really necessarily play at 3 of. I quite like it at 2 because I don't want to be seeing it. I want to be able to set it or see it on occasion. Now for the triples, we are playing the triple imperm, obviously only hand trap we're playing, and the triple copies for Cannon. This is just the best trap of the format right now. Being able to like send or set the entire board. Against Tempai, it's quite nice as well, being able to set their field. If they haven't, like normally they haven't declared an attack, so you go battle phase, you just set it, their whole entire field. And then they can either chain the effect to summon a copy of the Synchro, and the Synchro still gets flipped face down, which is quite nice. They just can't really declare an attack, so most of the time you can just win right there. But yeah, quite nice. And of course, Imperm is Imperm. This does come up against like Snake Eyes as well in the U-Bell deck. Being able to set those cards can be beneficial, especially when like you can start beat overing. You don't have to take damage if or you can pop them if they're face down as well, which is quite nice. I mean, you don't take damage if they're face down. But then we are playing the Trap Tricks with 2 other cards. We're playing the Dogmatic Punishment as well as Black Goat Laughs. So this, like, obviously you still have access to the other ones as well. You still have your Imperms and your Daruma Cannons. But the way I was looking at it with this way is like, okay, Trap Tricks gives me access to any one of these with multiple stuff. And like a lot of the times I don't want to see some of them. Like let's say for example, if I already have Punishment in rotation, I'm not going to use the other Punishment. But if I already don't have Black Goat Laughs, I can get that. It can help out a lot of the times in Snake Eye. It can help out in the U-Bell as well as the Tempai. Like this is crazy in the Tempai matchup. And then like versus some others are like Melodious as well. And then it just gives me access to all these if I want to. So like chances are if I see 2 of the traps, which most likely I will, I can have access to all 5. In this case, with counting the Welcome Labyrinth as well. I guess counting Big Welcome there because you never really want to banish the Little Welcome with this. But yeah, it's like just pretty nice. There are also some times where you can set this card and then you can activate Shavara, target this, flip this face up, set another card, and then like you have essentially 2 traps, but you still have your Shavara summon, which is quite nice. But yeah, that's it for those. We are still playing 2 other traps. We're playing Ice Dragon Prison as well as a Chamber here. So the reason why I'm playing Ice Dragon Prison is because I really love this card. It was between this and D-Barrier, but D-Barrier is in the side. I didn't really know what else to play. I wanted to play 2 copies of D-Barrier, but I wanted to make it still 40 cards. Therefore, I just chose Ice Dragon's Prison because it can be quite nice. It actually came up a lot against your Sartic as well, which is kind of funny. Just being able to hit Snake Eyes, Tempai, U-Bell, Melodious, every single deck in this format, you know, this card's really good against. But you have to be able to play it with other cards as well and be able to use it at the right time. Now for the extra deck, we're playing the 1 copy of Chaos Angel, alongside the 1 copy of Typhon. Not much to explain about these. We're not playing Extravagance nor Prosperity, therefore we don't have to worry about these weird ratios. We are playing the 1 copy of Anima, the 1 Dark, the 1 Muckraker, the 1 SP Little Knight, as well as the Yama, Rage, Anguish, a Bomb, and I guess the Bufo. So these are very standard. You know, you're playing a copy of a level 1, therefore you can go for Anima if you need to. We're not playing the copy of the Underworld Goddess nor the copy of Clarissa because of the fact that we don't find it coming up that often. You know, you just want to be able to play most of the cards that work for you. And a lot of times you're not really storming the field. You know, if they're playing against Agnister, I suppose that you will be needing to play the Goddess. But being able to like link up into this instead and just be able to pop cards and take their cards with these 2 just feel quite nice. And like you want to be able to play all the cards that really do stuff for you. Like Muckraker is really nice, being able to bring back another Fiend. Which you like bring back at the Chaos Angel, and then Chaos Angel will get its effect once again, which is important to note. But yeah, I really love the the Unchained package. I think that's probably one of my favorite decks of the entire game. Being able to just go into Rage, and then Rage, being able to take your opponent monster, go into an SP just feels so nice. And then for the, I guess, the fusion card, which we're going to be mentioning with the Bufo, we are playing the copy of Garua, Entis, and then the copies of the Chimera cards. So Bufo, it lets us dump off Dogmatic Punishment a higher attribute or a higher attack. So if they have anything over 15, we still get that draw, which is quite nice. If you don't really want to be popping multiple cards with that Entis, which can come up if they know you're playing Dogmatic Punishment, you set it off a copy of Trap Tricks. You know, a lot of the times they'll be like, okay, well, I'm going to just summon a lower level body. And for example, they summon up Snake Eyes Ash and you like imperm it, and like you don't want them to activate the effects there. It has something in the follow up. You can just go like effect, send, and like you can send either one of these here, but like normally you want to send that. But if they try to go for like something bigger, like a Diabellstar, and they like their first thing action is Diabellstar summon, and they set a copy of like Origins. If they already have like a Wanted in graveyard, you don't necessarily want to pop that copy of the Origins there. You can just send the Bufo, and then Bufo let you have an additional draw, so you don't pop that Origins to set them in the graveyard, making them essentially have to have another body or another card on the field to just send with the Origins. Quite nice. Then the Chimera and the Biffical, or whatever, Bephermat. So this is if you want to bring back up from the graveyard, which it doesn't come up a lot, but it definitely can. And this if you want to come back from the banish. This card extremely is underrated. People like don't play this card when they're playing Dogmatic Punishment. I'm like, why? So if you get Bestialed, you can actually send this from off Dogmatic Punishment. Obviously not targeting the Bestial because it is only 24 attack. But if you do that, you'll be able to banish this card from the graveyard and be able to summon back out your copy of Lovely or Lady, which got banished, which is very important. Yeah, I really like how the deck all ties into each other and it's all playable. Compared to like Extravagance, where you have to play like triple copies of a Chaos Angel and other stuff like that. I'm going to be featuring the side deck. This is like just a work in progress. We are playing 2 Cosmics. There's a lot of Runic out of regionals and out of locals. Therefore, I was playing it. Shout out JT for inspiring so many people. We played the triple Lava Golem. This is a Fiend. It's good going second, being able to clear those boards. The Snake Eyes, as well as like a Ubel board is quite nice. We're playing the one errata here. This was also an option that I could put in the main deck instead of that copy of IDP, but I just found myself wanting to be able to play it in the side. Like if I open up going first IDP, I can be like, okay, I can use this. But if I set this up and I draw this going first, game 1, I have no idea what they're playing. It's like, what am I actually going to send? Going first, we're playing the triple copy of Judgment, double copies of Skill Drain. This is just ratio wise. The only reason why I'm playing 2 of it. Obviously, you want to play 3 of it if you have the room. But I just found myself first adding patterns, being able to take out stuff that I don't really need. We're playing the 2 copies of D-Barrier and then 2 copies of Dimension Barrier, or different Dimension Grounds. So these 2 here are, like, they go with the ratios of the Trap Tricks ratio, which is why I'm playing it at 2. You know, being able to see these cards is quite nice. You could choose to bump up D-Barrier to 3 and then put, like, this in for, like, another copy of Cosmic, something like that, you know, being able to put those 2. I just chose to, like, want to play cards that do the most for me, which, like, looking back, I never really sided into Skill Drains, so I probably would change that for D-Barrier because that card just absolutely go to this format. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the deck profile. If there's anything you guys would change or anything you guys want to know, let me know in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Stay safe. Peace.